Yes. So to do that, I have go to app.routing.module.ts. So here you can see this is how I am configuring the route. So the first attribute I'm setting it as the route value as employees, and this is a list. Okay. Now let me just run my. Whenever you create a component, you need to restart it. Ng serve. Okay. Now my Angular application got compiled successfully, and it is showing me hello EMS. So what if I give it if give the path as null? It is redirecting me again to employees. If it is employees, it should go to employee list component. So in employee list component, okay, we have, this is a HTML, that is employee list works. So this has to be invoked. For that, we need to do one more changes. That is, you need to go to your HTML. Whenever you want to, use routing, go to this app.component.html. This is the app.component.html. And here we need to add this, that is tag called as router outlet. Okay. Now you can see employee list work. What I have done, are you getting the flow or not? I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
added one component. Okay. See, others also, whoever is not getting, I am telling you again, I have added a component called employee list component. Okay. After adding, I am setting the routing, or I am configuring the routing. How should I configure the routing? That is, go to app.module.routing.module. Here, this is routes. You have a routes, a directive in which you are going to specify these attributes. If the path name is employees, it has to redirect to employee list component. But as of now, there is no such path with employees. I have configured. But if the path name is empty, even then it has to redirect to me to employees, and path match, it has to do it fully. Okay. So when I run this application with the empty path, okay, just there is nothing. Where if it is empty, then it has to redirect me to employees. If it is employees, then which component it has to invoke? Employee list component. Are you getting my point? So the moment I add here, what is that router outlet? Now the mapping is taken care by router, not your HTML. So what the router is doing now, here you can see the mapping. Okay, if the path is employees, it should redirect me to employee list component. This is employee list component. In employee list component, the selector is, in app employee list. Correct? This in this app employee list, you are rendering this HTML, app employee HTML. Correct? This is employee list work. Basically, you are displaying this employee list, HTML in which HTML file? App component HTML. This app component is in turn rendered into index. So basically, this is how the diagram looks like now. You have index.html, you have app component.html, and you have one more. What is that? Three HTML, right? One more is employee.html. That is list. So this is your index.html. This is app.html. And finally, this is employee list.html. So what I'm doing, I'm rendering this employee list in this app component. Then this app component is rendered in index.html. Yes, this router outlet tag will take care of that mapping. Yes. for a, now you see here, if I give the URL as empty, then when I click on enter, you can see it is redirecting me to employee's URL and employee list works. This employee HTML is invoked, correct? So that is how it is done. It is using this router mapping. If it is empty, redirect me to employees. If the URL is employees or the path is employees, what is the component? It should be employee list. This is the component employee list. In this employee list, which is a HTML, employee list HTML. Where is employee list HTML? This one. Employee list works. Okay. So, are you clear with this navigation or not? Or is it confusing? Hello?
Ma'am, is there any diagram to show? Means
For
the
routing?
flow of, yeah, ma'am.
Routing
So
flow
we
you
can,
want?
yeah, ma'am.
Diagram, there is no such diagram. You all can try one application, no, with routing. Can you do it now?
Okay, ma'am.
Hmm?
Okay, ma'am. We will try.
Okay. What I would suggest is now, can you all create one component or one Angular application, or you already have component, or else can you do? Is it confusing? Is this application confusing for you?
No, ma'am. It's okay.
Okay. We will do one thing. Create one Angular application. We'll only work with routing.
Okay, ma'am.
Or else, okay, create one Angular application, say, in the same, what is that? CD space dot dot. So how do you create an Angular application? Can you tell me the steps? Angular application. Can you all create an Angular application?
ng space new space
Hmm. ng space.
the name which we want to give.
Hmm. New, correct? Followed by what is the name shall we give now? ng new
Mom will
routing
give
demo.
routing,
Let's
mom.
take. Yeah.
Yes, mom.
All of you create this. Let's understand this routing demo. ng new routing demo. Okay. Yes. CSS you select. All of you create routing example. Done.
No, ma'am, it is still creating.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, done.
Okay. Others do it.
Getting installed.
Okay. Done. Okay. So I will try, a simple example. Okay. So I have created this routing demo. Okay. Then I'm going to start in this. Okay. So please start the routing demo. Ng serve hyphen o. So routing demo. Okay. So this is my application. What is that application? Routing demo. Is that Angular? Routing. Okay. So I'm moving to this directory, cd space routing demo. And let me start here again, ng. Again, I'm starting a hyphen o. Okay. So hmm, I have started the Angular application. Control C, code space dot So from here, I'm opening the Visual Studio so that I'm in routing demo. Okay. So at least, are you aware of this? How to create, how to open? Are you comfortable with this? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So now, see, I have opened this. If you want, okay, what you can do is you can create a component here. So here I will create two component. Let me take employee and department. How do you create a component? Ng generate component, say employee, and ng generate, sorry, ng g component department. So I have created two components. One is employee and one is department. Now let us go to the Visual Studio Code and see here. You have created department component and employee component. Okay. And this is a app component.html. If you want to have routing in your application, the first step is, since I have already enabled routing, I need not do all that. Otherwise, you should go to index.html and here you should configure slash and, go to this app.routing.module. Okay. Here you need to import a router module, which is already done. And also third step is you need to go to app.module.ts and here you have to use import app routing module. Okay, so it is already done because I have automatically added the routing at the time of installation. So all this is set. So now let us see how the routing works. This is the actually HTML page. App.html is a default HTML page. See, basically you have index.html on which everything is rendered. Okay, so app.html is a default HTML by root application. Then you have employee HTML. Then you have department HTML. Please understand how many HTML: index, app.html, employee.html, department.html. So now I'll just delete all these contents and just write a paragraph in app.html. That's it. Okay. So now let us run this application. Okay, since you have created three components, just to say ng serve. So the code compiled successfully, and this is a port number on which my application is running. Yeah. So when I run my application, what am I getting? Can you tell me the output in app.html? Correct. Can you all try this? In app.html,
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
just put one code. Okay, as of now, neither the employee HTML nor the department HTML is invoked. So this app.html, where it is rendered in index.html, because this is a what you have configured. Now, by default, this app is rendered here. Now we are going to do changes in app only, not in other file. Okay. So, before doing the change, okay, in this app.html, let us add something like this. That is, we have something called as a nav bar. Okay. So in this nav bar, anchor tag which we use, yes, which is used to create the links. Anchor is a HTML tag. Yes, I'm using the anchor tag, and it has an attribute called router link. And here I'm going to say router link as employee. And there is one more attribute called router link active. So I'm just saying active so that when you bring the cursor over there, the color changes to the dark. What is this? Employee. I'm, copying the same thing, or again, one more anchor tag, router link, say department. Okay. The second router link, what I'm giving is department. And here, department. What I have done here is nothing. Just you go to the web page. Can you see? I have added active means when I go color changes. So, and both are in the same line. So I'll better add some break. So you can see that, two links are created, employee and department. Now, what is router navigation or routing is all about? If I click on this link, it should take me to the employee page, HTML. And if I click on department link, it should take me to the department HTML. That is called routing. Routing is establishing the navigation in your application. That is why I have created two anchor tags. Now, let us see how to do this. Okay. So when I click on router link, what is the path I have given? Employee. When I click on the second one, it is department. So go to the app routing module.ts, go to this array or this one route. Okay. So in this route here, you have to, configure the path. If the path, okay, so in the flower brace, so what are the two paths that I have? The first path is employee. If the path is employee, one second. Can you see here? I have configured two paths. If the path is employee, then what should be which component should it invoke? Okay, if it is employee, this is a syntax. Okay, this should be in double quotes or single quotes. Okay, then followed by one comma. Then it has to invoke, that is, which is a component that we have? Employee,
Employee
TS. Just check the TS employee component. I'm just copying. So why so that you'll get an idea. Where is that here? Component is this one. employee component. Quick, you have to import here. Okay. Now the second one. If the path is, what is the second path? Go to this anchor tag. Is that if the path is department, okay, go to the routing. If the path is single quote department, then which component we should it invoke? It should invoke this department component. In TS file, name is department component. The component that it should invoke is department component. Import this one. Hope you got my point. There should be one comma between these two. I have now established the routing links. Okay, I have first step. I have created two anchor tags. One is for employee, one is for department. In the second step, I am configuring the routing module, app.routing.module, in which if the path is employee, it should invoke employee component. If it is department, it should invoke department component. Okay. So just go to this, and here you see there is a error. Somewhere comma is expected, line number 8. Okay. Hmm. I have written a comma. So if I click on employee, it is not taking me anywhere. And if I click on department, even now it is not taking me anywhere. The reason why this routing is not happening is because if you go to this app.component, okay, .html, here you need to mention the router module, which is missing here, router outlet. Okay, so that router outlet, I will write it here. This, what is that directive router outlet will, tell your Angular application to establish the routing according to this path, employee and department. So when you run for this employee, router link employee, it will check this routing module. Okay, what for this employee, this is a component. For this department, this is a component. And accordingly, it will invoke, if it is an employee component, it invokes employee.html. If it is a department component, it invokes the department.html. Okay, so let me just show you. I have included router outlet now. Now you see here. If I click on employee, employee works, department works. So that is when you include the router outlet in this app.h component.html. This is called as routing or the navigation. Have you understood or still not?
Yes, ma'am. I have understood and I have also tried that, ma'am. It's working, ma'am.
It's very simple. Huh? So
Yes,
first
ma'am.
you need to have link in the main page. Okay, then redirect to employee and department accordingly. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
What about others?
Yes, ma'am. Working, ma'am.
Okay, try it. I'll give you 5 minutes time. Nothing, it's very simple. In app.html, create two links, anchor tag HTML. And after creating two links, just go to and also add router outlet. Then go to this, which is that routing module. Here you add the path for this path, which is a link. Yes, have you completed? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
So did you get the flow of how Angular routing is going to work? Just only add, create components, and in the main app.html, you have to give the link. How do you create link in HTML? Using anchor tag, correct? So I am creating the link here, that is a router link. And these router links, I am going to configure. Okay, this is nothing but the router path, I can say routing path. And these are configured in which one? App.routing.module here. Router path, if it is employee, this component. So to check, you can just go back to your code, and accordingly, it will take you. Employee department. Okay. Yes. Shall I proceed with my code? Yes. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? Jyoti, Pritika, are you getting the flow?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want any other inputs? Please let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
See, I will share today. I'll show you. I'll share whatever you have not understood. Please go through it. Okay. Once you look into that, hopefully, you will get some idea, because, this actually you should have completed in your training program. But I will try my best. Okay. So let us move on to this part. Where is my application? Hmm. Angular, this one, employee management system. So I will, so this one, okay, let's move on to the next one. The previous one, that is employee application. Huh? So what I have done in employee application, if you see here, um, this is the app.html file. Okay, where is app.html here? I have added just router outlet, and I have one component, that is employee component, that is employee list component. Okay. So what is there in this HTML? Just employee list work. So this, basically how it happens, whatever the, in Angular, if, this is the index.html. In this index.html, you will have app.html. All the other HTMLs will be rendered in this. Please understand. So the main one, what you have is index.html. Then the next one you have is app.component.html, and here whatever you have, say employee.component.html, whatever HTMLs you have will be rendered inside this. Hope this picture is clear for you all. So that is what in what I have done when this happens after configuring the route. After you configure the route, and also, to establish the navigation in your application. Suppose, for example, I have a app component, and here is a employee component, here is a department component, and here is a index. Okay, now it is, so this is what, app component. This is, say, employee component dot html, and this is, say, department component dot html. So to establish the navigation between, this and this and this, what this is by default anyway. This happens. Okay, index, because it is already there. But if you want to establish further navigations, you have to configure the route. Where exactly? One, you have to configure the routes. You have to do two things. One first thing is here you have to create the link. When you click on the link, you have to configure where the control should go inside a module. Okay, inside a module called as app dot routing module. Inside this module, for example, if I click on EMP link, where it should go. Okay, this is where. And if I click on DEPT link. So here it is written. If I click on EMP link, go to EMP, component. If I click on DEPT link, go to department component. That information is there in this app.routing. If the user clicks on employee link, it is taken to this one. Okay, taken in other words, what I can say, this HTML is rendered. This HTML is rendered here, which in turn is rendered here. Please understand. And when I click on this link, it will take us to department. In other words, department is rendered, I can say. Hope this is clear. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So if you want a break, please let me know. I do know if you are feeling sleepy or anything, you can take 5 minutes break, have some, refresh yourself and come back. But not more than 5. I want to log off for the day today. That is why. Okay, tomorrow anyways, I will not connect if I am done with this. But I want you, to complete at least one functionality. Then you will get some idea, okay, how Angular will be integrated and you can start working. You want a break for 5 minutes? Yes? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
No? Okay, take a break for 5 minutes, refresh yourself and come back. If you're feeling sleepy, just go, wash your face. I know it's very difficult virtually to keep you engaged. Okay, so please get fresh and come back, not more than 5 minutes. Huh? So it is 4:23, right? By 4:30, you all should be here. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
So hello everyone. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So I think I was late. I am sorry for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Okay. So let's begin.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope by now you are clear with routing, right? So let me now go on with your application. That is, yeah. So let us try to create the router links here. So as far as this is how my application is working now, if you see. So yeah, this is how it is working, correct? When I run this application, it is coming to this app component HTML, and because I have configured the router, what is that router? If you see, nothing. If it is a empty URL, if you see this routing, this one, if it is a empty URL, it should redirect to employees. So if you see, if I give a empty URL, it will redirect to employees. So if it is empty, redirect to employees. If it is employees, if the path is having employee, which is here, path is employee, then it should take me to employee list component. So hence it is taking me to employee list component of HTML. In turn, that is the rendered, I mean. Okay. Now let us try to add some links to this app HTML. Okay. So this is my app.html. So I will create, some link here that is, you know, um, so let me remove this. I'm going to use a nav class. So where do you get this nav class? You can just Google here, Bootstrap nav class. Okay, here you have various navbar options. So in this, I'm using this navbar expand, and yeah, there are various options with navbar. I'll be using this navbar expand. This is from Bootstrap. Okay, you can just say Bootstrap navbar. So this is a navbar class which I'll be using. I'll take this completely. Navbar expand, and this is long. Okay, I'll do the changes here. So this is a navbar class. Okay, navbar expand, and I'm going to have a small navbar, not long, and so I'm going to add one more attribute, that is to this navbar, bg hyphen primary. Okay, and this is navbar dark I will do. Do not worry about this. You can directly copy this from the bootstrap. Okay. So after this, I'm going to create a unordered list UL. Okay. And here I'm going to, navbar class. You can also search in bootstrap navbar class. Hmm. So here is how the navbar class looks. Navbar. Okay. All nav class. Just check navbar. Hmm. Yeah, I'll be using this class as navbar. Hmm. So you have various options. Navigation. This is called navigation bar. Okay, nav bar means. So I'm going to take this class as nav bar. Unordered list. Yeah, here. Unordered list. Class as nav bar. Okay, nav. And so I have created a list. And inside this, you can add the list item. And here also I'm creating a class called as nav item. Okay. Now, in this, I'm going to create an anchor tag. So what is that in anchor tag here? The router link. Router link, I'll give as employees. And one more is router active, link active. I'll say this is active link. And then I'm going to give the class as nav link. Means, this will make use of this class and you can just give this link name as employees. Okay. And okay, so this is what I'm creating. You can see here, go to your Angular application. Can you see this navbar and how it is looking employees? So this is a navbar which got created and this is a link which I have created. Okay. So if you want, to do some changes to it, then also you can employee list or view employees, you can say. So this is how now you see this navigation bar, view employees. Okay. I have created a router link called view employees. Similarly, if you want, I'll copy the same thing. Okay, in this up to the list element li, and I'll add one more link. So router link, say it is, create employee, and class name I'll give it as, say you can say add employee. Okay, this employer, and you can have some break. See this nav bar. Active means by default list employee is active by default. This is add employee. So I have created two links. If you want, you can also have one more link like this. Okay, see here. Add employee, then you can say view by ID. So you can see here view by ID. So like this, in this navigation bar, I am going to add these links. Is this clear? First one, this is the first
Yes,
section,
ma'am.
that is app.component.html. I'm copying this code here. Okay. So once you're done with this, I'll move on to the next one. So what is that I'm expecting next when the user click on list employee, it should list me. Okay, now I should have a navigation. What is this route employees, right?
Hmm. So let's do this. So go to the router. I have already added router outlet here. So now you go to which one? App component routing module. Okay. So where is your routing module here? If it is employees, it will take you to employee component. Correct? And then you will be displaying. So in employee component, as of now, if you see, there is nothing. It only displays this kind of thing. See here. Though you are redirected to employees, but only this is displayed. Now let us see how to add the code in employee component. Okay, so go to the employee component .ts file. Now let us add code so that you can display the list of employees. Okay, so I'm going to this component.ts file. So in this employee component .ts, the first step that I would do is create an employee object. So it is a TypeScript syntax. Employees, don't ask why and all. Okay, go through that syntax. This is how, I'm declaring an array of employees. Okay. Import. So it is importing the TypeScript class employee. Okay. Now I'm declaring, so in the constructor, what we need to use? Yes. Can you now tell me? Okay, see, I'll just tell you. This is my HTML and here is my component. Yes, this is an employee component. And let's say this is an employee HTML. Now, okay. And this is an employee component. Now, assume there is a data in the database. Now this component should hit the database and it should fetch the results back. And that result should be put in this HTML, which in turn renders into the index file, main file. Now how to do that? Can you tell me? Now I am in component class. Are you getting my point? I am in this class now. I want, to connect to the database. Assume this is my database. What to do now? Yes. Can you tell me
URL,
what?
ma'am.
No, no URL. Now, how should I link a component? Okay, there is one more layer which is sitting here. What is that layer? Yes. Service. I discussed, right? At the rate injectable. This layer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now how should I link a component and service? Just see that annotation and tell me what should I write in this constructor. Just tell me what logic I have to use. How should I see service? and component. Now, how should this component use the service object here? Think. Yes. How the service object is given. What is service actually? Service is a common code which is shared across various components. How are you going to share this service code across employee component? Yes. See the annotation by injecting the service into the components. Yes, we are going to inject the service into the components. How do I inject this service into the components? Here through the constructor. What am I doing in the constructor here? That is private. That what is that? Employee service. Employee service. So this is how, the service is injected into the constructor. I, understand that you haven't even touched Angular during your training program. If I'm not wrong, yes. Employee service. Oh. Is the service class name? What is the class name? Employee service service. Okay, by mistake I have written. Okay, I have you prefixed with service. Actually, by default, that class gets prefixed with service. Okay, but I had written by mistake. Okay. So now you can import. I am injecting the employee service to this component. Service is injected to the component giving. Okay, so what is service having now? It is having the now this component is going to hit a get method. Okay, so I'll write a method here. Private get employees. Okay, so this dot employee service. Now see, I'm calling service method, service layers, get employee list method, correct? So to call this service employees get employee list method, service layer has a method. What is that? Get employee, correct? List method. To call this, I need a service object in the component. And I have injected the service object here. Now, because I have injected the service object, I'm using service dot get employee list. Okay, so what it returns, okay, subscribe it, I'm going to use subscribe method and actually it returns a observable, but I want that to be converted to employee array. So I'm using, the arrow function. Okay, so these are very important arrow functions. Yes, see, this is how you are going to use arrow functions. If you have not been taught on this, then you have to work hard or else you'll not be able to complete the project. So this dot employees, that is equal to data. So I'll tell you what this service method is doing for you to cross check. I'm time being, putting this data in the console. That is console dot log, and this is if you want you can just okay, for your understanding purpose, or otherwise you can just leave it. I'll ignore this console. So here, what is this? I need to declare a variable called data here. And the data type of this. Okay, the variable name followed by any is a data type which I'm using here. So it is asking me to. What I'm doing here in the get in this method, I'm calling service layers get employee list method. This method is going to return me actually an observable object. That observable is converted into an array. Okay, and it is that array which I'm reading, and I am now taking, that is why, subscribe method I'm using, which is going to read that array, and it is going to, store that in this, data. Sorry, by default, by mistake, this has come as date. Actually, it should be the data. Okay, it's not date. Somewhere by mistake, it has taken date data type. Okay, so I'm just changing it. So this dot data and this dot employees. Okay, I'm saving this data into this employees. So where employee is an array. Okay, because it is going to return me a list of employee array, I'm saving that. So there is a error, is not argument of this. Okay, wait. I'm going to put a semicolon here. This is the arrow function. So let me redeclare this again, field. Data does not exist. So, oh, it has declared some method. Okay. So there is still some error. Let's check. Subscribe. Okay, I'll remove this keyword. Okay. So what is happening in this method? I'm going to call the list employee list method, which is returning me an array of employees. That array of employees, I'm saving it to this employee array. So you can see that this is an employee array. And now this value, I need to see here. I need to display this data in the HTML file. Please understand, I need to display this data in the HTML file. So where is my HTML file here? Which is empty. So it is like this. From this component, what is this component doing now? This component is, interacting or, calling the service layers, which method? Get employee list method. This get employee list method is in turn interacting with the database, giving me the list of employees. The list, what it gives me is actually a observable. Please understand. Okay, this is observable. This observable is now converted into, so there is one employee component. Let us assume there is one more component called say create employee component. So now, observable data is now converted into an employee array. Okay. The HTTP responses are observable and it is converted into employee array, and it is given only to those components which are subscribed to this, only to those which are subscribed. So suppose if employee is subscribed, so only to employee this employee array is given. If this has not subscribed to this, then the data is not given. Only those components which have subscribed, only for them the array object is given. Now this array object, I need to, what should I do now? I need to display it in the HTML. So let's see how to construct a HTML page. Hope it is so far so good. I know it's a very difficult task for me as well as for you, because this thing you should have completed during your college days. Yeah. Now going to this, let's go. I'll show this HTML. This is a code, right? Yeah, go to the employee.list.html and let's see how to display the list. Okay, so first you can just say add some tag like, h2. So displaying employee list. Okay. Now, to display this employee list, I want to have it in table. Okay, so you can have, again, table class. If you want, you can just go to Bootstrap. Here you can say table class, that is, let me say stripped. So table class stripped looks like this. Okay, table stripped. I'll take this. So this is from Bootstrap. Okay, so this is a table class which I'm taking. And then table header you can have, and table has got various table rows, and in this table row, okay, I'm going to write the first table header, or okay, so let me have this itself. Okay, table yeah, so in this first table row, let us write the table header. What are the various fields that we have? First name. Okay, so I'm going to copy the second and third. So first name, last name, and email ID. Okay, so this is the end of table row, table header. Okay, so now table body. So if you see how this table looks now, you can just go to your code. See, this is how it looks now, as of now. Okay, so now let's add table body, and where I have an array which I need to iterate. So I'm create one more table row. In this, I'm iterating the array. So for that, you have various directives. You have ng for directive. Okay, so if you are not aware of directives, you have to go through this because beyond a certain limit, I will not be able to help you. Ng for. Okay, I'm using ng for directive, that is equal to, and this is how, I'm going to, access that array syntax. TypeScript syntax. Let employee of this array employees. Yes. So what is the name of the array you have given? It is employees. So I'm fetching this array here. Let employee. Okay, for each employee in this array, I'm now trying to iterate this. Okay, so how will I do? Table data, interpolation operator, which I had said you. The employee dot, the first one is ID if you wish. So you can copy this first name, last name, and email. So employee dot first name, employee dot last name, and this is email ID. Now, so this is a table data. This row is done. Okay. So after this, I'm now, if you want, you can just add some more table rows like this. One more table data I'm going to add before winding up this row here. One more table data. Don't ask me what is table data. Please, that is expected. But I'm creating a button and this is, let's add some more links like this, say, and let's say button click, and that is equal to, I will give some URL, okay, based on whatever you can give that URL. So I'm going to give class as, say, there are various, button classes. Okay, which you have for delete and other functionalities. Okay, if you want to delete or view by ID, or button, go to this bootstrap button. So these are various buttons. So now I want to say if I want to delete, I'll take button danger. This one. Class. What is a class is, okay, it's already there. Hmm. That this is a class. Button danger. Okay, so, and here, and you can give some style if you wish. Hmm. Margin, okay, whatever, wherever you want. I want it on margin left, say 10 pixel. You will understand why I am giving this. And instead of danger, I'll say delete. Okay. So is the error here. Table data, and this is button click. Okay, click is equal to, uh, you know, here you can give some ID. And this is a class. So this could be like, if it is a delete, you can give like a delete employee. Okay. And here you can pass the ID, whatever you have. Okay. So this is how you can add various other URL. Button click. Okay. So, okay, this we will see it later. Okay. Time being, let's only display the data. Hmm. We'll only display this. Yeah. So you can go to this and refresh it. So this is end of table row. Okay. So let us see whether this application is going to fetch me the data or not. Okay. Employee list. Mm. So this is the employee.html which I have written. So this is a my architecture. So what I have done, okay, I have fetched the data from the service into the component and I'm trying to display in HTML. And actual page which is getting displayed is app.html. So this is app.html. Okay. So what is the router link for this? Employees. Okay. So let's see, when I run this, it should go to this router and link employees. So here is a router link employees. If it is the employee, it should go to employee list component here. And there it will initialize and it will fetch the data, connect to the database and fetch the data. And then it will display. So just check in the service. I have given vwall URL. Yes, this is the get list. It should, okay, fetch the data. Now this application should connect to my backend. So how do you connect your front end with backend? This is one URL. So another thing is you should, go to this your application and mention this cross origin as star. This will achieve the compatibility between these two, that is the backend and front end. So let me check whether my backend server is working fine or not, and then see whether this is what is the URL which I have given in the front end. See, it is this one, vwall http localhost. Yeah, so backend server is on and it is displaying the data. So let me check whether Angular does this or not. Hmm. So as of now, I don't see any data list. So let me start again and check. So this is an Angular application. Angular EMS, okay. So let me start again and check if this works or not, or if anything else is still missing. So, but data is not fetching from the database. Okay, my application is not getting connected to the database. So I should have this data, right, from the database. So we need to figure it out. What could be the error? Hmm? Can anyone try? Router outlet. So this is the link. Yes, when you click on this, okay, just check again. This is a routing, and from here it is coming to employee list component. Yes, here. Okay, just check what is missing. This is a service object. You are injecting the service, right? Just check what is missing. Can you all check what is missing? Hmm? Employee surveys, I'm injecting this. Yes. Yes, can anyone figure it out why it is not connecting to the backend? Hmm?
I think you didn't run the application in Spring Boot.
Yeah, in Spring Boot application is on. That is why, no, see when I hit this URL, no, can you see this? This is a URL. Now, when I call this, it is printing here. This is the URL. Okay, view all. Oh, hello, view all. Let me run this again. This is application. So this is how you need to figure it out. Okay, why it is not connecting? Your front end is not connecting. Okay, so let me try again. The port number is 8085 and the URL is this one. Hello and view all. Okay, so HTTP 8085 hello view all. So I'm getting the data here. Okay. So, but when we try this in Angular, no, it's not fetching the data from the database. So what could be the reason? Hmm? Okay, one second. So this is a HTML, right? I'm printing ID. Okay. Let me remove this. Compiled successfully. Hmm. So can anyone tell me why first name, last name, and email ID? For I am iterating this array employees, right? Which is declared here. Okay, let me just change this declaration. Service is injected.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
I think you are assigning the this dot employees to the wrong variable. You should remove that data variable, data colon any.
Hmm. Okay. Then.
Uh, in the at the top, ma'am, where you have declared employees, there is a data variable, data
Hmm.
colon. Remove that variable
Okay. Hmm.
and remove this from that data. This dot data.
This
Keep
one.
it. Yeah, just keep
Okay.
it.
So I'll declare. Oh, you only say date. Oh, but I have
Yeah.
to declare no this variable.
No, you have do not have to declare. Yeah. Now run it.
Will it work? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it was rewriting that. Okay. Hopefully, um, at least let's try in console. Okay, console.log. Let's check. So let me refresh. No, so something, check whether the flow is coming here in get employees. So you can write, let's trace console.log. So which is this in EMP component list, EMP component, okay. And this is your HTML. So can you check service again? Service layer, can you check it again? So we will trace the code. We'll get to know where exactly is the mistake. Okay. So this is the URL which has to connect to the database, which it has to connect to the database. Okay. In this constructor, I'm injecting the HTTP client. Okay, this is a line, okay, which should connect this URL. This is a service layer. So just, you can put some console statements so that we will get to know. Console.log. So you can say in service. Okay, so from service, it is going to, through this routing, just check your routing. It was working fine, but yes, routing was redirecting. Okay. And from routing, you will be taken to this class, employee component.ts, in which I have declared an array. We have injected the service, okay? So I'm just trying to trace it in employee component, okay? And this is going to return the data. Okay. Just check if you find any mistakes or anything in this get employees method. Subscribe, okay, you are subscribing and this data I'm taking in this employees array and this is the array. Okay. So after this, it has to display in this HTML. So I'll try to inject one more, that is the in this component class, that is service, and one more is I will inject router. Okay, so let's try this router class. Okay, so because we have to inject router also. Yeah, let's trace the program. When I click on this employees, No, this is add view. We don't have anything. But when I click on this, just check the console. Create employee. Okay, anyways, create employee we haven't come across. Okay, so let me just go to this notice that app. Hmm. So I will time being comment this create employee and I'm not using as of now. I have commented this. I will have only the display employee. Okay, so let me refresh this application. Displaying employee list. When I click on this, employees, right? So just go to this app module and let us import this form also because we have browser module, app routing module, HTTP client. I'll import one more, that is forms module, and let's see. So even forms module is imported. Server started replacement. So it's not invoking any of these methods. Hmm? Yes. So what is the error? In Spring, there is no error here. Okay. But there is a error here only. Let me refresh and run it again. ng, so